a YouTube video, and it's gonna be about how to make a guessing game in Python. I know all my videos previously have been about Scratch, but now I'm gonna move on to Python. So basically I'm gonna be using IDLE, the Python 3.8.2 shell, but maybe you can use like any other app that you have downloaded, or maybe a website like maybe Tinker or Repo. So even if you don't have an account in repo.it, you can still like use it. And to make this project, I'm going to create a new file because like it's gonna have a lot of lines of code, and like it's always good to like create a file when you have a lot of lines of code. So I highly recommend you do this too, and maybe even follow along. So the first step is to make a guessing game. So yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna like call this guessing game in a hashtag. So which basically means that so this won't be part of the code. It just like notes. So yeah. So now we're gonna be starting, and the first part of the code is import random. So what basically import random does is like imports like a series of numbers, and the second like line is we're gonna be creating a variable. Let me just like write it down and then I'll explain to you. So basically what this does is it like the computer like generates numbers between 1 and 99. It doesn't tell us, we don't know what it is, but it just generates it. So now I'm gonna be making the code for the user. So the user has to like guess the number, which is this code. Let me explain it. Just give me 1 second. Maybe are you copying this down? Maybe you should. So what this does is like it asks the user for their input, and then so then now we're gonna be programming the part where it tells like if it's right, if it's too low or high. So in order to do that, we need this code, and I'll explain it just in a bit. Just give me a second. So basically, what the while loop is, it just like it just like goes through the command when the statement is true, and here this like exclamation mark and equal, basically means like not equal to. That's how you write it in Python. I know it sounds weird, but that is how you do it. So then, if x is greater than guess, then we have to print guess is too low. So then we're gonna be using a statement called elif. Actually, just before that, we need to do one more thing. We're gonna be like asking, like, since like they didn't figure out the number yet, we're just gonna be asking them the same thing until they figure it out. So that's why I'm asking them for their input. So it's gonna keep on asking them until they reach it. So now if x is not greater than a guess, then we're gonna print guess is too high. As I said, you can do this on Repo. You can do this on anything else you have, like Tinker or Python.org. There's many websites for Python. I'm just using IDLE. It's pretty good. Maybe you can use it later. Um, okay, so we're gonna be copying the same thing we did here because we want to keep on asking them for their input until they reach the correct number. So we're almost done. Um, Now we just have to do x equals guess. So the reason why we don't just put one equal sign is because one equal sign means that you're setting it to something. So we're not doing that. So well, yeah, okay. So if x actually, sorry, if two equal signs means you're setting it to something. Um, so then print, we're gonna like if x equal guess, you can just like say good job or something. You nailed it. you can write whatever you want, and then if you can add more detailed parts, like you can break the loop, or you can like do like if they don't put a number and put an alphabet, you can say like, no, this is not a valid input. So you can do all those stuff, but this is just a basic video for people who just began Python. So in ideally, what you do if to run the module is click here. It must be saved, yes, and also yeah, make sure to like run it on a file. So I'm gonna be saving it as guessing game.py. In Python, you can't write like, you need an underscore between these words, and then most people use .py, just like the format, because py stands for Python. Okay, replace. It should work if I didn't make any mistakes, and let's check it out. So also, just like another heads up, like if you're like if you don't want the number to be like this high, because you don't want to waste too much time, then you can like change it to 50 or whatever you want. So I'm just gonna be putting 20. It's giving me a hint. Guess is too low, so I'm gonna put 40. No, just keep on going up until maybe 80. Too low. 90. Okay, so as you can see, it says you nailed it, nice. And since like since we like kept on asking them guess equals int, like it keeps on asking them until they get it right, which is a cool part. And yeah, so if you have any questions, you can like post on the comments. Maybe you could like and subscribe and do whatever you want. Have a good day.